Last week, Bodyhammer fought his way into our grand final to face previous victors Roadblock from Show 1, Recyclops from Show 2, Robot the Bruce from Show 3, and Cunning Plan, who will join them in the race to become the first British Robot Wars champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the warmonger of Robot Wars, Jeremy Clarkson.
Throughout history, warmongers have promised that their conflict would be the mother of all battles. But tonight, we're going to show them how a proper war should be fought. The whole series has been leading up to tonight's final showdown, and from throughout the land, we're getting reports of a nation on tenterhooks. Men attending their allotments, women are cooking supper, children are tucked up in bed dreaming of the day when they can have a pony. But here in the East End of London, we have 6 more robots revved up and ready to fight it out for that last place in the final showdown, a battle that will be held at the end of tonight's programme. Before we fire up the flamethrowers and charge up the chainsaws in this half-hour homage to Greenpeace, let's meet them.
First, from Oxford, Scarab.
A durable-looking robot weighing in at 86.3 kilograms, Scarab utilises 2 suspension springs salvaged from a 1923 vintage car.
From Mitcham, the Blob.
Covered in graffiti, but determined to make a clean name for itself and a clear run at speeds of up to 15 miles an hour, but in practice it's been a lot slower and more ponderous than that.
From King Edward VI Grammar School, Tracy.
Might have a girl's name, but nothing ladylike about our Tracy, made of welded steel with deadly spikes and a very low centre of gravity, only 20 centimetres high.
From Enfield, Elvis.
Yes, the king is alive and protected by a pneumatic expanding rivet ram at the front and a body shell which gyrates just like Elvis the Pelvis.
From Sutton, Prince of Darkness.
This homemade robot weighs in at 27.2 kilograms and runs off 2 14.4-volt drill motors. Not the most aesthetically pleasing robot, but certainly powerful.
From Maidenhead, Eubank the Mouse.
Driven by 2 12-volt wheelchair motors, this nippy rodent travels at 15 miles an hour and threatens all opponents with a mean right hook, left cross combination. Those the final 6 contenders to show their mettle in Robot Wars. Back to you, Jeremy.
Right, now you've met the metal, it's time to test the testosterone with our first event.
Please welcome defending the gauntlet tonight, our house robots, the matriarch, Matilda. There's Dead Metal with those rather painful pincers at the front, and Sergeant Bash. As ever, our robots have to avoid these and the traps and obstacles that are set in their way to astonish, flummox, and downright incapacitate them.
You know, in the olden days, a gauntlet was a type of glove. Right, Roboteers, I challenge you, be more interesting than that.
Roboteers, stand by.
Ooh, driver Phil Patching with the Blob looks nervous. His engineers Gareth Monday and Simon Carroll.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Driven by that 12-volt electric battery. Can be run at 24 volts. Could lead to overheating, though. Well, certainly the Sergeant can with his flamethrower. And Dead Metal closes, and here comes Matilda round the back to join in the fun. Driving Blob again towards the ramp this time. Matilda's tusks are grisly. In goes Dead Metal.
The Blob, it's built for the heavyweight division, it's a heavy robot, and it's going to crash and bash, and we're going to crash and bash with this.
Are you sure? A lot of crashing, a lot of bashing, and the Blob isn't doing any of it. Matilda certainly is. Driver Phil told us one of the things we had to look out for here was grotesque ugliness. On the robot, that is.
Deactivate robots.
So, using the power of hindsight, what changes would you have made to strategy there?
Choose another driver, really.
And then the machine broke down as well?
I think, yeah, probably cook the electrics or something like that. But I think, you know, with bigger motors, a bit more ramming power, take them out, burn them up.
But you didn't do any of that. Still, well done. You got, oh, I don't know, a few feet.
Oh, popular team, though. I hope they're back for later on. First to go, of course, they're top of the leaderboard with 7 metres.
Roboteers, stand by.
Driver Neil Lambert is 23. He's a special effects artist who wants to work on feature films.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Elvis is obviously still with us in that sort of sparkly light shade thing. Already stuck, though. Only a tiny ground clearance.
Hi, I'm Neil from Team Orange Pill. It's my heavyweight robot where Elvis lives. Can have one of these, though.
I'm not too sure whether Elvis would have wanted one. But the light shade moves. In comes the sergeant with the saw, and already making dents. And the pretty paintwork is wrecked, totally. And could be burnt off with a flamethrower. And Elvis is going nowhere at the moment. He needs some blue suede shoes to get out of there. Oh, you hound dog, Sergeant. Leave him alone.
And deactivate robots.
Good heavens, it's Jacques Villeneuve, except he's world champion and you're not. What on earth went wrong there?
Obviously, not quite my sport. I need to practice my old driving skills there a bit.
Still, thanks very much for coming, and now, go home.
And I think they will be with 2.75 metres. That isn't very far, boys.
Roboteers, stand by.
The Tracy team from King Edward VI Grammar School in Chelmsford. The driver is Andrew Rockcliffe, head of electronics.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Tracy stands for Terrestrial Robotic Artificial Computerized Intelligent Engine. Now you know. Away from Bash, slowly, very slowly. In comes the flamethrower, too high though.
This is our robot, Tracy.
She's in the heavyweight category, and as you can see, she's quite sturdily built. It's got a unique facility that can turn upside down and still continue going, which is why I have the casters on both top and bottom.
Got the spikes as the weapon too. Ew, there's the sergeant's saw and flamethrower. You can flip it over. It'll move on both sides, but not very far.
Stop and deactivate robots.
So, did you imagine it was going to be like that then?
No.
And what was different about it?
It was hard. It was very difficult.
Oh dear, should have called it Sharon. Would have been better. Right, well, there we are. Well done anyway, you got about halfway.
Just over, in fact, and that pleases the supporters of the Tracy team because they're top of the leaderboard with 8.7 metres.
Roboteers, stand by.
Steve Dove, a 40-year-old manufacturing supervisor, is the driver of the Mouse.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
And out of the mouse hole he comes, past our own kitty cats. There's the sergeant and Dead Metal. And up against their power, 2 boxing gloves and a deadly right hook and left cross, says Steve. Very nippy, though. A 0 turning circle. Low ground clearance, nothing's going to get underneath that. Away from the spikes, away from Dead Metal, top of your picture, and Matilda. Oh, tremendous stuff! And it's through!
I've got to say, ordinarily, I don't like to see my pets being beaten, but that was great.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Did you really expect to be able to beat them?
No, I was hoping to get about halfway and then I thought they'd just get me.
That was just great. Marvellous mouse. Well done.
Terrific robot, great entertainment, and the mouse top of the leaderboard, the only one through to complete.
Roboteers, stand by.
The ISIS team members in your picture there, Jonathan Attias and Chris Crosskey.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Scarab, named after an ancient Egyptian beetle. Looks more like a birthday cake on wheels. But beyond Sergeant Bash's flamethrower, very slowly, very securely, very powerful actually, with the 2 wheelchair motors. And that big weapon on top, a steel bar. As Dead Metal goes to close. Chris Crosskey looked more like Chris Crosspatch there.
We're Team ISIS from Oxford. This is our robot Scarab. It's driven by 2 wheelchair motors, and the main feature of it is this hammer, which is sprung-loaded, and we rewind it using a car starter motor.
Well, they may well be slow, but they've already beaten the 2.75 metres. They've done enough to qualify, and I think they've gone all the way. They have.
You made it. That's a very plodding robot you've got there.
It's got a bit of power in it, but...
Bit of power, but not much speed.
That's about as fast as we can get it to go, I'm afraid.
What's it like when you're being attacked by those things?
I wasn't really paying much attention to them, actually. Just trying to force my way through.
Right, deduct points for smugness. Well done, though. That was a good, steady performance.
Jonathan and Chris have done enough with the Scarab team in second place, and they're safely through.
Roboteers, stand by.
Prince of Darkness, driven by 16-year-old John Scott, the team all teenagers at the Greenshaw School in Sutton.
This is the Prince of Darkness. We built this in under 5 hours. It's powered by 2 powerful motors who will actually pull a motor car.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Those 2 motors come from Domestic Power Tools. It looks like one of those old sort of go-karts you made, though, when you're about 7. 2 boxes and 2 old rubber wheels at the back. The flame torch will destroy them, or the steam jets. No! The Prince of Darkness is going all the way! Look at that! Oh, until Matilda came across, but did it cross the line first? They think so, but the judges say no! They've got to do it all again! It wasn't all the way over the line, and Matilda trades it against the spikes! Now, Matilda can't manoeuvre! They can get away this time! Can they cross the line once and for all? Yes, they can!
That is the worst robot I've ever seen in my life, and it crossed the line twice.
That thing can pull a car.
And what would have happened if Sergeant Bash had attacked it with his flamethrower?
It probably would have been a bit light, but it would have been more spectacular for the audience.
Well, that's very, very thoughtful of you to bring such a miserable little robot along. And amazingly, that's made it.
The Prince is through, the King has gone. Heartbreak Hotel for Elvis, out.
The King is dead.
Obviously, I've damaged my paintwork there.
It was so beautiful as well, wasn't it?
Best part of it, that, wasn't it? Spent hours doing that.
Look at those blackened by the house robots. You can't afford to be arrogant with them, you see.
They're going to die. They're going to die. They're going down. A bigger spike and more power.
Snooker. Let's be honest, not the most exciting sport ever to grace our television screens. Robot snooker, on the other hand, is right up there with nude powerboat racing. Here's how it works. Basically, each of our 5 remaining robots has been allocated a pocket. Now, when the action begins, they're going to leap out and spend the duration of the game trying to fill it up again with as many of these balls as they possibly can. Now, obviously, it's going to be mayhem out here. There'll be balls going everywhere. It'll be own goal city, but we're not bothered, because when time's up, the roboteer with the least amount of balls in their pocket will be taken outside, tied to a post, and just left there, really.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Well, the blob is very quickly out and breaks and is aggressive. And let me point out straight from the start, if more than one robot fails to score, then the least active of those robots will go out. You've got to be active, you've got to be aggressive. And I wonder what's happened to Tracy, impaired on that side fence, it would seem. There's a long pot attempted by the Prince of Darkness, who very interestingly has that bucket on the front now to help it, with a short little pot in there. That's the first ball potted home and slotted home, and the Scarab equalises. Now, they told me they're going to sit on their pocket and protect it tactically. Tracy's still stuck on the fence there to the left-hand side. And look at the Prince of Darkness, another long pot attempted there. Comes home just to edge it in. That's 3 balls. The blob tries to get one back. Go on. Go on. Oh, so close. The blob's still working hard. You see, Tracy can't, impaired there. And I think that the mouse seems to have broken down. The Prince of Darkness, though, ready to rack and stack them in. In goes the 4th ball off the bottom of your picture there. A 5th one goes in. The Prince of Darkness is romping it. And there's a 6th for the Prince of Darkness.
Cease.
He He's through, so too the Scarab. Now, who was the least active of the rest with no balls? Oh, no, I'm being told that the mouse has irreparably broken down, and he's out. The mouse has gone, chewed up by the kitty cats.
Right, that's an impressive score. Mind you weren't really up against much, were you?
No, I was quite glad, actually, the competition broke down, because I thought I was going to be quite badly beaten up.
Yeah, what happened to yours, then?
She's just a bitch, to be quite honest.
Saying call it Sharon. I want to see a respray for the next round. Sharon, right? And you're out.
I'm out.
Best looking one here.
Well, some say.
So on that, we'll move on to the next round, I guess.
Oh, hard cheese. It was a bit of a tight squeak, but I'm afraid the mouse has gone out.
Yeah. It's up to them how they run. We need the 66. Yeah.
It's time for the semi-finals, where the real fighting begins. Now, in case our roboteers don't get stuck in properly, the 4 house robots are on hand to garnish proceedings with a little chili sauce. And if, at the end of the bout, the 2 robots are still running, we shall turn to our panel of adjudicators for a decision. Now, they're going to be marking you, roboteers, for style, control, violence, and aggression. I, on the other hand, am only interested in violence. So get out there and do some.
Roboteers, stand by.
Phil Patching and the heavyweight blob team, that weighs 68 kilograms.
3,
Oh, and there, Peter Kuiper,
2,
the engineer, joining the Scarab
1.
team in the driver's box for the first time. Head to head, heavy metal thunder. Like Dodgem cars out there. And here comes the torch. What on earth is Sergeant Bash doing so far out of his control area? Oh, look at that hammer blow. Missed. Thank goodness for the blob team, but the Scarab team in there look determined, and this time it's oh no, whoa, the big heave-ho! Out onto those side bars, so difficult to escape from, especially with the sergeant coming in. Ah! You could be right, you could be stone dead. Oh, rust in peace, the blob.
Your robot, right, is the slowest here.
Probably, yes.
It is also the least powerful.
Well, I don't know about that.
It looks like cheese on toast and its hammer doesn't work and you've still got through.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
Amazing is one way of looking at it. Still, we'll see you in the next round.
What do you call this?
The Prince of Darkness. You said it was an amateur job, so now we made it professional.
It's a bit tacky still. It looks fantastic. Well done, guys.
Thanks very much.
I'm a bit disappointed though, because we quite like that amateurish go-kart you made yourself in the garage feel to it, but that's how we'll always think of it.
Roboteers, stand by.
So it's a 7-year-old go-kart with wet paint.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
But it is the crowd favourites. It's David against heavyweight Goliath in the shape of Tracy. With those sharp prongs that could maim and damage and destroy. Don't forget, Tracy could be flipped up and over and still survive. I'm not too sure whether the Team Scimitar Prince of Darkness boys can do just that. Oh, look at that! Already a puncture! In comes the spike like a dagger to the heart of the Prince of Darkness boys. Prince of Darkness and Tracy dancing together. Sounds like some awful disco scene. In comes another dagger, another puncture. And surely that will immobilize Prince of Darkness. It's held now, pinned in by those sharp prongs. There's the punctured tyre. Very, very close towards the grid at the top of your picture. They wouldn't get out from there. I don't think they're going to escape anyway. Almost up and almost over. The Tracy boys pinning back the Prince of Darkness team. In comes the Sergeant and Dead Metal and Matilda. They sense the kill. It's almost all over, in like vultures. Oh dear, unfair play surely. 3 wheels on my wagon and I got nowhere to go.
Tracy, well done, come on. Thank you for removing the most miserable robot from the equation.
We did it for you.
Now look, you were very rude about that earlier. Called it rude names. What do you think now?
She's gorgeous.
She is gorgeous. See you in the next round.
Slow-moving cheese on toast. Is that reference to a comment that Jeremy made?
Yes, it is. We think it's desperately unfair. It looks more like a coffee cake.
I don't care what it looks like. How's it going to perform?
We think we've got the hammer working at last. Fingers crossed. And Kilotron, in order to help us uphold the honour of the Hammerbots, because we're the last one left, has lent us their mace, because it will give us the reach to get into the centre of Tracy's electronics.
You've had an awful lot of problems with Tracy all the way through. How is it looking now?
Well, we're feeling confident. We've got everything sorted out, so we're looking for a good bout.
OK. Good luck.
Ooh, it's all tension up here. They're fighting it out for the last place in the grand finale. You nervous?
A little, yeah.
You?
Yeah, very nervous.
Very nervous, that's very honest. Good man, we'll get down in your booths. Let's find out who it's gonna be.
Roboteers, stand by.
There's the mace lent by Kilotron, an earlier competitor in Robot Wars.
2, 1, activate.
And the two heavyweights come together. Oh, and there are those dangerous prongs immediately coming into play from Tracy. We've seen what damage they can cause, and puncturing the side of Scarab. In come the house robots. Matilda, bottom of your picture, dead metal to the right-hand side. And I wonder what damage that's caused, the puncturing, of Scarab. I'll tell you what, he's ripped the flesh off Scarab. Has Tracy, you can see it trailing off one of the deadly prongs. And up against it, that mace is like a little school ground conker against a juggernaut. In comes Tracy once again, spinning, turning, good driving. Oh, is it out of control there again? Surely not mental enough to take on the sergeant. I don't know, though. Look at the damage caused. And certainly, Shunt seems to think twice before coming in, but Matilda takes on the Scarab with that sawtooth tail. And off comes the radio control mast. And that could leave it immobile. I think the mace is out. And meanwhile, Tracy isn't out of control. It's mad enough or vicious enough to take on Matilda's tusks. And that'll be earning points. The judges deciding on damage, aggression, control and style. And surely it'll go to points now. Surely it'll go to the judges. And Tracy now attacks the sergeant. Well, he's got some front.
It's got to be a judge's decision. I mean, you see the action in there.
Well, Tracy certainly was more aggressive and caused more damage right from the start. That's where the body shell of Scarab was pierced. Scarab tries to spin and knock it away, and that's what thrust Tracy into the patrol area. And then more damage, of course, it went on the attack. Damage caused to Scarab by Matilda. Tracy taking on Matilda. Oh, bored of Scarab. He knows he's already beaten Scarab, the Tracy driver. Now, what shall I do? I'll take on the toughest of the lot, the sergeant.
Well, thanks for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to say we now have got a result, unanimous, judged as usual on damage, aggression, style and control. And the winner, Tracy! Come on, guys. You really have got a fan club here, haven't you? Huge congratulations. Was it fun?
It was awesome.
That bit when you got stuck, you must have thought it was all over.
I did, but one of the house robots helped us out, so that was great.
They're nice guys. I've been saying all along, they're nice guys. And I love your sportsmanship. When the cheese on toast was being attacked, you were helping it out.
No, we just had to have a go at those house robots. Deeply satisfying.
Well, you've done it. You are through. You've earned yourself a place in the grand final. You better go get yourselves ready. Well done. Now, this is it. This is what the whole series has been leading up to. An orgy, a six-way orgy of death and destruction.
And into the final from Heat 1, Roadblock diverting all opponents to take the glory road. From Heat 2, Recyclops with the extending tongue licking all opponents. From Heat 3, the brute force of Robot the Bruce. And our featherweight pretender Cunning Plan speeding to victory in Heat 4. Next, the copper-coloured Coal Scuttle working out the maze in Heat 5. And they're all joined by tonight's winner, the not-so-ladylike Tracy.
6 of them are going into the arena now for the very last time, and the excitement here in the pits is intense. We cannot wait to watch it. There'll be crowds around the monitor. We're going to enjoy this just as much as you are.
Indeed we are, Philippa. The final of Robot Wars.
Roboteers, stand by.
There they are, the drivers of Roadblock with its scooped front, and Body Hammer, the Cold Fusion team, and Rex Garrod on the right, driver of Recyclops with the extending ton. There's Cunning Plan from the University of Reading.
3, 2,
and Robot the Bruce, and
1.
Tracy from tonight.
Activate.
And this for the title, the first ever UK Robot Wars champion. Aggressive style already, especially from Tracy spiking Recyclops, and that allows Roadblock to come in underneath. There's the extended tongue, but Recyclops can't flip Tracy over at this moment in time. Tracy comes back. There's Body Hammer in the spotlight briefly, and running away, Cunning Plan. Needs to get back into the action and be aggressive, and it is there because the judges will mark for aggression, and Tracy's up on Cunning Plan, and both of them are out, immobilised. 4 left, Body Hammer and Recyclops, and Robert the Bruce there to the left-hand side, and the dangerous Roadblock, who's persisting in this attack on Recyclops, the most dangerous attacking robot otherwise in the field. But up on inside Recyclops. Down it comes. The tongue takes a fearful bashing. Roadblock still pressurising. And Body Hammer thrusts into Robot the Bruce. Recyclops on its side. Not yet down. Robot the Bruce trying to get involved. Rex Garrod needs to get his tongue back in every sense of the word. Recyclops top of the picture. There's the chain off Recyclops. And that attacking by Roadblock has paid off. Recyclops is out. They're down to 3. Body Hammer. Roadblock behind it. And there's Robot the Bruce up on his side and goes as well. And that leaves 2. The Roadblock team of students from Bodmin against the team of nuclear engineers and Body Hammer. Here's Roadblock closing in on the far more experienced engineering team, getting in underneath. It's over. It goes to the judges. And the arena on its feet, a standing ovation.
Well, I think that calls for a judge's decision. And while we await it, let's have a look at some of the action from that Battle Royal.
These the 6 bidding to become the champions of the first series of Robot Wars. Recyclops, attacked by Roadblock. Roadblock in the thick of things again as Tracy takes out Cunning Plan and goes out herself. Roadblock then attacking Recyclops and Robot the Bruce. Just about anyone had a go at Recyclops, especially Roadblock. And Recyclops, the chain came off in the end, leaving 3, and Roadblock putting out Robot the Bruce after a suicidal charge. And my money's on Roadblock, but let's see what the judges have to say.
All right, quieten down, everybody, quieten down. We have a decision. A unanimous one from the judges that the winner, the British Robot Wars champion, Series 1, is Roadblock! You did it, guys! You did it! There it is, the trophy. And a very, very well-earned one, if I may be so bold. What was that like?
Best time of my life. Absolutely loved it.
It really was absolutely breathtaking. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being absolutely magnificent winners, champions, and thank you, everyone at home, for watching. Good night.
Ah, tremendous stuff. Well done, 17-year-olds Enda Blewett and Chris Kinsey, and their teacher down at Bodmin Community College, Peter Kinsey, and their A-level project triumphing over the nuclear engineers of Body Hammer. Champions of the first series of Robot Wars UK, Roadblock. They're our champs, but others are also recognised. The best engineered robot, Mortis from Cambridge University. The Sportsmanship Award goes to the boys from Dublin and Nemesis. They won a lot of friends. The Best Design Award, the futuristic Blunderbird won. And the most original entry, the tasty-looking Psycho Sprout.